Kia ora, my name is Toni Marie Smith and thank you for tuning in to the 2022 Mayoral Candidate Interview Series, the purpose of which is to give you, the residents of New Plymouth, a better idea of who your candidates are beyond their little written bios and the answers on their FAQs. NPDC Know Your Candidates website, which if you'd like to see that, I will pop a link in the video description below. Today I have the honour and joy of having the lovely Councillor Sam Bennett with me. Thank you for having me.
Morena, Tony. It's nice to see you and thank you for inviting me along for this conversation today. I'm excited.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Very glad you could make it. Cool. So, as other people, if you've seen the other videos, you'll know that I've got the same 5 questions for everybody to make it fair to compare answers. So we'll get started, eh?
Cool.
Okay. So arguably every person who puts themselves forward for mayor will say that they are the best person for the job. But if this was true, then it wouldn't matter who we voted for, right?
True.
So in reality, we all have different qualities and skills, but their value often depends upon what is needed at the time. So what do you think puts you ahead or gives you an advantage over other candidates in light of what NPDC and the community currently face?
Yeah, well, thanks for that question, Tony. I think when I look at my points of difference, and I do have some significant points of difference, I think the big one for me that the community need to know about is that I am very, very focused on a return to grassroots democracy. I do believe that our current leadership has lost the focus on grassroots democracy, but what do I mean by that? That means having a mayor that has the ability, the public profile and the personality to re-engage proactively with our community boards. The way that I look at council, everything that we do starts with community board engagement. This year, we are blessed through the representation to review to have a new community board join our team here in the district, which is the Puketapu Bell Block Community Board. So having a mayor that's actually at the grassroots level, helping and participating in that level, I think is a wonderful attribute that I haven't seen in the current leadership, not only now, but in the past. Okay. And I think we've lost that vision. Because when we look at decisions that we make at council, where do they come from? They come from grassroots people in grassroots towns like Okato, Oakura, Inglewood, Tongapurutu, Waitara, Tarata, Uranui. So I think we've lost that value. And so that is, if I had one significant difference, it is having the ability to engage at the grassroots level to make good change and getting community board members involved in their long-term plan, so they all have long-term plans which feed into the council's long-term plan. I don't think we're doing that well, and I want to be and lead the change at that level. But not only me as a leader, this is about getting all councillors involved at community board level. And so my job, depending who gets elected, and that's why I'm listening very carefully to what candidates are saying right now, because if I am blessed to be elected as the mayor on the 8th of October, I'll know exactly where those people are, and I've got some mahi for them to do, depending on what they're saying in the next month or so.
Cool, yeah. Wonderful, thank you. All right, so this question's a bit of a humility test, not gonna lie.
Okay.
So if elected,
yes.
What aspects of the role of mayor would you expect might challenge you most? And along with that, what skills or areas of knowledge do you feel that you could further develop to ensure that you would execute the role as best as possible?
Cool. When we look at the skill base to be the mayor of this district, and I look at the mayoral role as the preeminent leader in this district. There's no doubt about that. So I take this role extremely seriously. So I am 57 years young, and so I've built over that time many skills to put myself forward for this leadership role. So included in that, which I think is very, very important, are governance skills. The role of the mayor is twofold. It is governing our council, which is a $3.7 billion business, and the other side of that coin is advocacy. So that's advocacy not only here within the many organisations that we have in the district, but right through to central government level. They are key for me. Quite often, you will see people coming out that are really smart, and they've got a whole list of qualifications. And I've got them too. However, there's no use going to the mayor and throwing pieces of paper at our community. It's about those skills that will make a change. And I bring those governance skills. But I think bringing governance skills, having the ability to advocate is critical, and it's how you do that. How you do that is returning to the grassroots of our people through our community boards. Do I have much to learn? Absolutely, 100%. I'm in my apprenticeship as a first-term councillor, and you know, that job that we do, Tony, it is complex, it is demanding, it is unrelenting, and it is brutal. And so during this term, I've learnt much. But you know, when I talk to councillors that have been there for many years, Councillor Richard Handley has been there for many, many terms. And he said to me of late, Sam, I've been here this long and I learn something every day in local government. And so the learning for me is, as mayor, yes, I come with a set of skills, understanding local government, how it works, because it's a big beast. But if you're not open to learn and keep developing skills, then I think you're in the wrong job. And I'm very open to develop my skills. One of my skill sets is, I don't need to be the smartest person in the room, but goodness me, I know how to put smart people around me, and that's my strength. So to lead...
Outsourced to expertise, right?
Look, you have a look at our current New Plymouth District Council team. They are amazing human beings, and I know them all well, and I know how to put those people around to realise our aspiration of becoming the sustainable lifestyle capital of this country, and I get that. When we have skill sets or skill gaps, the mayor's job with the CEO is to find those gaps, putting good people around you. That's what I see as leadership. I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. That's not my aim. Yes. But I know how to find smart people. And I just want to clarify for me around, when I look at the leadership in a mayoral role, I believe that I do not work for the New Plymouth District Council. I believe that I work with the New Plymouth District Council for the people of this community. That is a significant difference from the current leadership that we currently have. You know, very corporate. You know, I think that we're running some sort of dairy company at the moment. Very corporate. Let's bring that back to grassroots. Okay. Grassroots democracy, grassroots leadership, grassroots community governance.
Okay, cool. Very good, very good. Now, if somebody answered that question with, I don't have any areas to learn from, I'd be very concerned, but no, that's fantastic.
So would I.
Yeah. Get out.
Well, remember, I'm a member of the community too, and a ratepayer. Yeah. So it's really important for me too.
It is in your interest, isn't it?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Okay, so number 3. So regardless of your stance on the Three Waters reform, which the answer, if you're interested, is on the NPDC Know Your Candidates page, I'm more interested to know in community connection and perception of feelings. So, in your view, what do you see as the key reasons Three Waters reform has received so much opposition from the community?
Look, that started back a little while ago when the government first came to our community, our council, with an opt-in, opt-out option. The opt-out option was taken from us, which left only the opt-in. You will opt in and we will mandate this. That's where I believe the problem started. Our community deserves an opportunity to have a say on their assets, and that hasn't happened. I believe what's happened subsequently was driven from that root cause of not asking the people about how they would like to see that managed in the future. And you can see that manifesting now in the community. Our council get the kickback from that because of that decision that our government made. And you know what? The mandating of the Three Waters is not our decision. our council are opposed to most of the reform. Is the reform needed? Yes, it is. So things like the introduction of the Water Services Regulator, outstanding. However, now we're in a situation where it's been mandated. People say, can you stop it? I go, no, I can't. I cannot stop this, either as your potential mayor or as a councillor. So having solutions for people now are important. So the message that I have for the community today, I'm focused, because we have been mandated to have options, to have solutions that we can take to the community to ensure that we're doing the best, not only for the New Plymouth District Council, but now for our region. So those options around, do we form a council-controlled organisation between our councils to manage our water regionally? Do we set up some sort of cooperative? So that should bring some relief to the community around, we can't stop it, but we are trying to find solutions that can work for us all, that remain affordable and, most importantly, locally responsive. Because if it's not affordable and people don't have a say locally, this is going to be a very difficult process for all of us.
Thank you. And that covers the second half of that question, which is, if the reform is inevitably going ahead despite opposition, which it feels it is, how would you alleviate community concerns? And it sounds like you have a focus on transparency, communications, and perhaps compromise within what you can achieve.
All of those things, and I think when you are forced into a corner, that you need to make some pretty hard decisions about collaborating as one. I would call it maybe tahi taranaki when we come to the three waters. I think that when you look at the balance sheets of the New Plymouth District Council, Stratford District Council, South Taranaki District Council, we are all healthy. Combined, I think we could do amazing things for our community to keep our future of our three waters affordable, but again, locally responsive. That is the key to bring calmness to our community, I think. And I'm happy to lead that process with our colleagues throughout the region.
Yeah, I do agree, social cohesion is favourable, for sure.
It's helpful, right?
Yeah. Right. We'll go on to the next question. Yeah. So, and it's a bit different from the usual council questions, I think. The issue of misinformation, disinformation, and its potential impact on the community is a highly debated topic because our lives are increasingly online, media saturated. In regard to democratic process and societal progress, what are your views on freedom of speech, and conversely, the idea that some people want to censor certain ideas?
Yeah, look, I think I respect that people have the freedom to share a view. When it comes to sharing views and the freedom to do that within our community, this is my opinion, it must come with respect. It cannot be, under any circumstances, discriminatory or racist in nature. I have no tolerance for discriminatory or racist rhetoric, and I am more than happy to keep people accountable for what they say. So that's where I stand with that very strongly. When we look at information versus disinformation, let's use, I suppose, the pandemic and what the New Plymouth District Council made a decision operationally from our CEO to try and alleviate some of the spread of COVID in our council-controlled organisation. A decision made from the operational team, not from me as a councillor. That information that we, as a team, driven by our operations, was made on the information received from the Ministry of Health. So for me, I don't find that avenue any sort of disinformation. It's the information that we've got. It is local, it is pertinent to Aotearoa New Zealand, and that's where I tend to rely on solid information by people that we know that we can trust here in this country. And so scientifically based information that we can trust, because that information then affects our community. So I don't go into a lot of the disinformation. You know, when you go down a rabbit hole, I've learned over time, always look for the ladder and not the spade.
Okay.
And I'm look for the ladder if I ever find myself in a rabbit hole, you'll see me going up the ladder, not digging the hole bigger.
Okay, yep.
That's my philosophy.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, so we're going to go from that deeper topic, I'm going to flip it into something more fun. Sam, what is your campaign catchphrase? And I want your name to be included in there.
Right, I'm thinking about this deeply, Tony, and I'd like to leave my community with this one today. Sam, the man that can.
Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Sam, the man that can.
There you go.
Is there any, can we rhyme any more words in there?
Well, I'm going to leave that in your capable hands, and whatever you come up with is cool. That's what I just thought about in the last couple of days. Well, my formal one is Sam Bennett, okay, the people's choice. Always service before self, but that's not fun today. No. That's what I thought, Sam, the man that can.
What about don't gamble, bet on Bennett?
That is why I'm not running the interview and Tony is.
I don't know. Sam the man who can. That's simple. I like it. It's good.
You can play with that. Yeah. I'm happy with whatever you come out with.
Well, the other candidates didn't like my suggestion as much as you liked my suggestion.
This is where I will always take on community feedback and consultation.
Oh, fantastic. Views considered. Great.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for your time today, Sam.
You're welcome.
And thank you, viewer, for watching and taking interest. Remember to vote, otherwise, what was the point in watching this video? Thank you, and ka kite.
Ka kite ono.
Lovely, thank you. Oh, yeah, bring it in.